Hola, beautiful humans. I am popping on to talk about pain in the body. Um, as a nurse and someone who struggled with chronic daily pain for several years, it is something I've come to know very well and understand on all the layers that it presents itself in our body. Pain. Um, Ironically, the pain in my body that I'd been diagnosed with every autoimmune disease under the sun, you name it, RA, MS, fibromyalgia, lupus, all of them, right? And basically, to be told, they didn't really know what was going on with me. Cool. Appreciate it because it was my first very powerful spiritual awakening, literally my body breaking. I've made other videos about it. Um, but I want to talk about my experience with pain in the body, how I work through it and with it to help anybody out there that might be having some pain in their body. Because I've had a lot of clients recently reach out with nerve pain. I have a lot of people in my orbit that have body pains of all kinds. And I've also been seeing just a lot of posts on Facebook about people in pain. So, because this is something, again, I feel pretty familiar with, I felt called to just pop on again and share what I've done for myself and what I've learned about the energy of pain. Um, because our Western healthcare system is great for emergency type care, but it's really, from what I have observed and also experienced as both a nurse and a consumer of the system, it does not support like long-term healing. It doesn't really promote sustainability because again, it's a system that is a business, and so it runs off of our sickness and our disease, right? So this is why energy medicine has become so prominent in my life because I saw how broken the system is, especially when it comes to pain. Um, and again, I have so much hands-on experience with other people and their physical body pain, as well as lived experience with my own. And what I can tell you is the pain has purpose. Um, and when we allow ourselves to see that and invite that in, um, essentially inviting the pain to share with us the messages it's here to tell us, it is very powerful. Because pain is energy stuck in the body. And the symptom that we start to feel, right, the actual feeling of the pain in our body is a symptom of energy that has been trapped there for some time. And Sam and I have done so much trauma work within ourselves and with other people. And every human walking this earth plane has experienced trauma in some way, shape, or form. Um, and remember, trauma is literally just when we don't feel safe in the body. And it's basically unexpressed energy that we don't allow ourselves to feel or say out loud in the moment of the happening of the event of the trauma, right? So there's no comparing trauma. Every single one of us walks around with trauma that this vessel went through, and then ancestral lineage trauma that we carry energetically in our vessel. And so, what I have learned about pain is that certainly, of course, as a nurse, we are trained to take the pain away by giving a lot of pain pills. And yes, there are certainly other modalities that we learn in within the system that are supportive to relieving some pain. But the missing piece of all of this is getting to the root cause. And that's where the whole energy medicine game comes into things. Because pain in the body didn't just happen overnight. There's something going on that has been going on for some time, and the body gets to a certain point where now a symptom has to present itself because we're not paying attention to our body. As humans, we've been very conditioned to live from the mind, and our minds are hella powerful, like so powerful. But they can become a disservice to us when we use them to bypass the messages that the body is telling us. And I share this because I have lived it and I have seen hundreds, maybe even thousands of people at this point in my life live this. And so pain has purpose, people. Pain is medicine when we allow ourselves to surrender to it, to feel it, and then to even take that next step and say, hey, pain, what are you here to tell me? What are you here to show me within myself? Where am I not taking care of my vessel enough? This beautiful, sacred avatar that allows my spirit to be in the human game, right? Like, where have I neglected myself, right? And this is not to come from a place of shame. This is to come from a place of awareness because that is the first step to all of this. You have to first become aware of what the pain is here to teach you. Most of us, just like me as a nurse, are programmed and conditioned to take the pain away, get rid of the pain, get rid of the pain, get rid of the pain. But that's fear, okay? Because we as humans really don't like to feel uncomfortable. We don't like to feel uncomfortable emotions. We don't like to feel pain in the body. But ironically, everything I've been shown from the spiritual realm is that that is exactly what we've come to experience here in this human form, because it is only in this realm that we get to experience all of that. And so when you can start to alchemize or shift your perspective of the pain, that starts to release the pain. Okay. Um, Also, people with chronic pain, this awareness came in early on in my journey that I believed I was always sick because I was always sick, but I was always sick because I believed I was always sick. So again, understand how powerful this is. I Because since really being a kid and being very sensitive to energy and not understanding that at all, I absorbed a lot. And then I also didn't allow myself to process my stuff. And I did get sick a lot as a kid. And then as a teenager, I got mono. And then from there, it just seemed like I would get everything. And whenever I would get things, they'd last for, double or triple the amount of time, the normal course of whatever it was. And so that's just been my immune system being shot because of living in survival mode, right? And that's a good chunk of us walking this earth plane. So I share it because there's a good chance it will relate and resonate to someone out there because I know I'm not alone in what I've experienced and what I have realized in this. And this is why I share it because this is my medicine to share with you. Pain has purpose. Perhaps, and I know how challenging this is because I am literally someone that lived with chronic pain in every aspect of my body. I had swollen joints, I had skin eruptions, I had, you name it, this body had it. And when the messages started coming in about like embrace the pain, I was like, what? Embrace the pain. I want this gone, right? Like we want it gone. And I get that. But maybe ask yourself if you can take a brave step forward and instead of telling the pain to go away or doing all of these external things to make the pain go away, maybe lean into it and say, hey, pain, I feel you showing up here. Is there a message you have for me? Because I feel maybe I've been ignoring you. And I'm sorry for that, right? Like, talk to your parts. Everything is energy, everything's intention. Our cells hear and feel everything. all the time. They're never off. They're never asleep. And so the more intentional and conscious you become in speaking to yourself, the more over time you will embody that, right? And so ask the pain, what are you here to teach me? Maybe even ask it what part of your inner child is stepping forward. Because a lot of our pain, the root of it is from childhood. Okay. And then we go through our human life doing all of these physical things that add insult to injury, right? Because there's already a wound there. And so all of the things in the physical world are catalysts for that pain, but they're not the cause. They're not the root original cause. So that's why all of these modalities that we use as tools in the physical world are beneficial when we use them as a tool with the right intention and don't become addicted to them, attached to them, dependent on them. But when you can get to the root emotion, thought, energy that is causing the pain to begin with, that starts to lift it. And then you start to get guidance from your higher self, not having to go to a psychic, but you start to get guidance from yourself and your body about what it needs right now from you. Because there's all of these great things within the healthcare system that, again, are tools. And I inner and understand sometimes we need like a little band-aid to get us through an acute thing. Totally get that. No judgment. And understand there's no judgment around any of this. This is awareness and information and lived experience as both a nurse and someone who's lived with chronic pain, that it might hit someone today. It might hit the right person that you're in a lot of pain. Also, side of the body, where the pain is showing up, the right side of the body is our masculine energy, and the left side is our feminine, and the brain is the opposite of that. But if you're having pain on your right side, that's your masculine side of the body. And to deeper understand that, masculine energy again is the doer, it's the action taker. It's purposeful, it's driven. It actually manifests like in the physical world what our feminine is intuitively creating and feeling. So, right side of the body, if you've got pain going on there, there's probably some sort of imbalance in your masculine energy. Sometimes it has to do with like a stuckness, right? Like not moving forward with something. And so the pain is showing up as like a signal to be like, hey, pay attention. Because the pain it's deeper and more than just we think the physical cause of it was, right? Because like I get as kids, young adults, like we do all of these physical things that put wear and tear on our body. Like there's no denying that, 1,000%. And we have injuries that happen that we can say are the root cause of something, but I would still encourage you to go deeper because I have a very vast understanding of all of our like of the Akashic field and all of the simultaneous lifetimes we're living. And so when like an accident or something happens in this realm, there's also something energetically happening in like simultaneous lives, usually of like an emotional, mental kind of energetic experience. And so being aware of that will help to also transform the pain in this realm. It's being able to, I guess what I'm really trying to drive home for people is understanding that the physical pain in your body is more than just a physical cause. So it's going to take more than just a physical external thing to fix it and heal it, if that makes sense. Um, because again, we have spent our entire lifetimes giving our power away to all of these external sources of relief. But that's why the pain will come back again, right? That's why, like, when we experience times of stress or whatever, it gets triggered, and then we deal with it, we heal it and fix it in that moment. But it's really just going dormant because we haven't gotten to the root cause of it. We've used physical modalities to heal the physical aspect, but if we could understand as humans that everything physical started as an unseen energy first, and that is the root of everything, holy fuck, we'd be we'd be living very differently. Because this is something that just keeps getting deeper and deeper embodied into me, this knowing, this remembering. And so that's why I come on and share all this. Pain in the body has purpose. I understand it's annoying. I understand it's uncomfortable. I understand we want to do everything to get rid of it. But I also inner and understand that that is not the way to fully step into like a whole version of ourselves and to actually feel healed in certain areas and certain aspects. And I do believe that healing is a lifelong journey. I don't think that this is something that we do overnight and then all of a sudden we just float through this life like healed. What would really be the point of that? Like, honestly. But I do believe that we can live from higher vibrations in this body if we're willing to do the work. And the work is leaning into what's uncomfortable for us. And physical pain, emotional pain, mental anguish is uncomfortable. And can we give ourselves the gift of leaning into it and being with it, learning from it, rather than numbing out, distracting, bypassing? Because again, these brains, they're really good at bypassing the body. But that is why we have a very diseased, sick society, because this has been running the show, but this is very programmed from things that are of a fear consciousness and our own fears. When we drop into the body is just the feeler. It doesn't have a judgment about energy. It is the observer. It's the feeler. It's the aspect of us that's present in this game. But if we are disassociating and leaving the body, well, let me tell you, the body's taking a serious beating because think of it this way. It's like you're the guard of your vessel and like you are the protector of it. And if you are choosing to exit it via, good God, there's so many means nowadays that we can use to exit the vessel. Meditation is even one of those things. And I think I'll talk about that in a different thing, but it's being aware of all the times that we are really trying to disassociate and remove ourselves from the current reality of what's coming up for us because it's either not the right time, not the right place, blah, 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 right? All the things that we've gotten so deeply conditioned to. But yeah, I just I I want people to get that like there's not one thing that's going to heal your physical pain because it's not one thing that caused it. There's a root wound that got stuck there. And then over time, we added more insult to injury. We added more trauma based on the food we eat, the environmental fucking pollution, all the shit that they are literally poisoning us with, right? Like those are catalysts, the drugs we take, the medicine drugs we take, like all of it. It just compiles onto something that's already wounded, right? So there's really no quick fix to the pain. I hate to like say that, but I don't at the same time because it's true. Like you may get quick fixes that last a certain amount of time, but I can assure you that if you're not doing the holistic approach, meaning mind, body, soul, energy, then the pain will come up again. And then whatever quick fix you used prior will probably work, but you'll notice it doesn't work as long. The relief is not as sustainable because again, you're missing all of the other pieces that need to come into play for you to heal whatever is not in harmony in your body there. And I can tell you that stress is one of the biggest perpetrators of creating disease in our body. And I know, like, as humans, we talk about, oh, we're good at handling stress and blah, blah, blah. I know because, like, I have spoken these same words. I have lived this thought pattern, this belief before. And then I realized that no, none of us are good at there's no good at handling stress, right? Like stress, just like grief. Wow, that's interesting how I'm seeing the two of them being shown very similar because it's an overwhelming of emotions in both of those narratives, in the grief narrative and in stress. It's an overwhelm up here, but also in the body. And think think of your body, like think of your mind, how that's a lot of energy pressure that's constantly being placed. And so living in stress and thinking that you're managing it well because you get through it, like that's a form of resilience that actually it's what Sam and I talked about before. It's a survival mode. It's not actually being present and resilient in the way that like presence brings in for you. When you're present with all of the feels of everything, that is a whole different form of resiliency and bravery than the bypassing that most of us are still doing, right? And this is not a judgment. This is human behavior, guys. Like we all do it. We've all done it. We'll all keep doing it to some degree. But the more aware you become of it, the less you will do it. And I promise you this, your pain will start to dissipate because it will tell you the information and messages that we've been missing because we live up here and not here in the full body. And then up here, we there's a lot of manipulation that happens up here within our own minds. I'm not even talking about the manipulation from the external world. Good God, there's plenty of that, but like our own mind manipulates us because again, it's a survival mode thing. It's the ego protecting us, but we don't need the ego to protect the soul from what it came to experience. We need the two of them to kind of come together in harmony and realize that they both have a role in this game. But the ego is the part of us that keeps us in the loops, that keeps us in these mindsets, almost delusional. It's delusional type thinking, right? Because it's like we're literally like the mind is saying one thing, but the body's like, no, but you don't actually believe that because I'm feeling something completely differently than what you're saying up here, which is also creating even more stress and anxiety because there's a contradiction happening between the two within the vessel. So the greatest gift you can again give yourself is invite the pain in. I think I even made a meditation, or no, it was about fear, but really fear and pain, one and the same, one and the same. But I did make a meditation like probably 4 years ago, 3 years ago now, that was inviting fear to sit at your dinner table, right? Because again, once we recognize the energies are already here, we don't have to be afraid to invite them in. They're already here. But now, by us inviting them in, what we're doing is we're just giving these energies a voice to speak. Ironically, the same thing we as humans have wanted our whole life, right? We just want to be heard. Well, these signals of pain just want to be heard and felt because in that is where all of your knowing and remembering and information comes in. And that in and of itself starts to heal the pain. It does. And like I said, you will then start to trust yourself and your body more, listen to this a little bit less, and go with how you're feeling rather than what you think you should be doing. Because the I think I should be doing is the ego, it is the program, and it is the part of us that will keep us in limitation, in fear, and in 3D. Part of us that acts from I feel is bringing us into those higher states of consciousness, is bringing us into those new earth energies. And so, are you brave enough to feel the pain? Because I have been. And this is coming from someone who has been scared as fuck of everything her entire life, including feeling pain. including seeing things that are like done to me in medical procedures that cause pain, right? Like, this is also why I even went and got another, well, it's not why I got another tattoo, but it was another, getting the tattoo was another way of me saying, like, I can face pain because this pain has purpose. What I'm putting onto my skin right now is literally a portal that I have activated within myself that I have been guided to emanate out. And so it's an important message that will keep me in check for the rest of my life and serve as medicine. And when I sat there through the pain, I even like because medical procedures for me since I was a kid, and I get why, because of all of the trauma I went through for the first 14 months I was in Colombia, and they were literally doing experiments on me. Makes perfect sense why, as a kid, young adult, and up until recently, like anytime I had to get some kind of a medical procedure, and this is hysterical because I'm a nurse and I do medical procedures to people, but I'm so fucking gentle because I know how sensitive I am. So I'm very like gentle and whatever. But um, I don't remember where I was going with this other than I was talking about this is what happens when we channel real time too. Okay, guys. I was talking about what happened to me as a kid. Oh, okay. Here we go. Coming back, coming back. Love it. Um, so the tattoo, I'm about halfway through the tattoo and I'm sitting there and I'm like, this is my fourth tattoo. And like, I fucking got this, right? And I will say, like, when I sat down, everything I do for the most part in life is very intentional. I set an intention. Like, the tattoo was a ceremony for me. It was a healing ceremony for me. And about halfway through, I was like realizing, like, holy fuck, like I I'm becoming more tolerant of like pain, physical pain in my body. Like I can do this. Like I don't have to be afraid of this. Like our avatars are strong and powerful. Um and wow. And then as I'm like sitting there having that realization, I'm also realizing I haven't looked once at her doing the tattoo. And I'm like, whoa, that's just how I am. Like when they draw my blood, anytime they've done any procedure, I'm like, I just don't want to see it, which is hysterical because like everything that I've been about the last 7 or 8 years is like seeing the darkness, seeing what we don't want to see and feel. And so again, halfway through, I'm like, I have to look because like that's a thing for me. And so I did. And it was like, really? Like, wow, was my mind making it way worse, right? Because it usually does for all of us. So it was just like a another layer of embracing pain that I actually chose, but also recognizing how strong I am and that I am willing to invite pain in, because I know it has such powerful messages. And so I share this again with you all because give yourself that gift. Like, trust yourself enough to feel it. You're already feeling the pain, anyways, right? So, what could it really hurt by like having a conversation with it, asking what inner child wound is coming up, asking how you can show it compassion, what it needs to feel safe right now. That's the biggest thing. Ask the pain. I love this. Ask the pain what it needs from you to actually feel safe in the body. Because ironically, that is the alchemy of the pain. Once the pain feels safe, it's gonna go bye-bye. So I love that that just came in. Hell yeah. And that's what I'm going to continue to do as pains creep up for me. Because even though I have healed a shit ton of that chronic daily pain that I lived with, and I mean, let me tell you, I was pretty debilitated, like in my early 30s, um, early to mid 30s, like not good. And I am so far from that reality now, but I am a human and I still have pain. I still have residual energies within my joints, I know. Um, and this winter was pretty brutal for me with like viruses. I hadn't really experienced that as much over the last like 5 years. Like I just kept getting everything under the sun. But again, I sat with it, I surrendered to it, and I talked to the viruses. I talked to everything that was going on in my body. And it was like, this is what you need. This is what you need. Da 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 da. This is what you're releasing. This is what you're feeling. This is what the pain is here for. And I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Okay, okay, okay. Surrender, surrender. Just let me, I'll be sick. Right. And like, even for me, like when I'm purging viruses, going through these things, there's very little that I take, even as far as like herbal supplements, because again, I'm in such a state within myself now that like I am my embodied medicine and I want to keep proving that to myself. Like I came from one extreme of like taking this medication because the doctors told me to, and that medication, and all those things did was create more disease for me. And while I know like natural remedies and herbal things are great, like I'm not knocking them, and but they're more for like using like on the reg. It's not like when you're sick, like trying to load yourself with all that stuff. If you don't regularly take that, like it's not really going to do anything, because again, what's the intent? We're trying to get rid of the symptoms instead of just seeing this as a very natural energetic process of energy that just needs to move through the body, right? Like all we're really doing with those um like supplements, and I'm talking about like when we're actually in an acute thing, right? Like we're literally just trying to numb the symptom. And so like I'm the opposite of that, and I know like people in my life still don't fully understand that, and I get that, but it's because of the extreme I lived before so much, and I've been on such a path of proving to myself that I can heal myself. And so it takes a lot to really embody that belief. Like we can sit up here and say we believe that, but do we really embody the belief? Well, we only know if we embody it, if we actually start feeling better and healing. So again, I am my own proof. I am my own validation. Um, I I have lived the world of like needing the scientific backing all the time and realizing how manipulated that all is too. And so I kind of live in this like I am my body is my validation like of this truth. I know we can heal ourselves 1000%. But I also know that we as the individual have to fully embody that belief. And it starts up here, but it's more about in here. And it becomes in here when you start listening to here, right? And following the guidance of here and quieting this a little bit, because this again, it's recognizing that this is like a computer system that has a lot of software, hardware in there, but there is a default program that we're all running off. And for me, bringing my awareness to those default programs and learning to how to shift out of them layer by layer has been the most healing and freeing work I've done, because when you feel free you heal, when you heal you feel free. It kind of it's all the same thing. And so free yourselves of your pain by inviting it in and asking, what story is it ready to share with you and release? Understand when you do that, the pain might feel more prevalent, because understand energy, that when you are truly setting an intention to release something, you're pulling that energy up to the surface. So, yeah, you're going to feel it, or your external experiences are going to bring in opportunities for you to release what you said you're ready to release. So, just be mindful of when you're putting an intention out there to release something, what's going to happen is that something, someone, whatever it is, that energy is going to get very loud in your space, in your life, because the universe is like, okay, you're ready. Well, then let's do it. Let's feel it. Let's face it. And it can be very uncomfortable, but I promise you, like you're not going to die. Like and like you'll have ego deaths, but like you're a fucking warrior. Like you will come out the other side so much more knowing of yourself, and trusting yourself. And again, trust has just been it's the theme for me this week, but every day. Just but like I shared the whole post about trust the fall and all that, and got the tattoo on Monday, trust the fall, and it was just funny because um there's a lot of things still falling out of my life right now. And I love when I put messages out there because I literally know that for me, I'm going to probably go through an experience like within the next 24 hours of putting that content out there that is going that's going to be a mirror of whatever the content is, and that is held true to form this week. So trusting the fall away of things that no longer serve. Mostly for me, it's my own patterns of thinking, um, and seeing ways of seeing myself. Those are all shifting again this week in super uncomfortable ways and super high vibe ways. So again, multidimensional beings that we are. This is ending up being way longer than I anticipated, but whatever. That's how I roll, and I'll cut it into shorts for people that don't have an attention span anymore. But there's so much like just in this right now about pain. I encourage you to sit with it, take it in, whenever you feel called to. And I promise you that there is purpose in the pain. And it's actually quite beautiful when you start to remember that and feel that. And it's where we take our power back because we're going to go through pain this whole human existence, 100% mental, emotional, physical pain, part of what we signed up for. But if we work with it as an ally, just like fear, because again, I feel like they're the same entity. Um, if we work with it as an ally, move through it, hold its hand through the journey, I promise you it becomes more of a friend than something you want to be getting rid of, if that makes sense. So I love yous. Learn to love the pain because it's in the loving of it that we start to release. Okay. Love ya.